guys. Hope you're doing well this evening. It's Fred and Sheila with Hatfield, McCoy Museum Adventures, and FS Investigates.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us. This video here is going to be questions and answers. On Jaden's case, we've received a lot of comments, text messages, emails, and we wanted to go over some of them. Some of them is very interesting. Some of them is, YouTube. You learn one thing about YouTube, and that's to get thick skin real fast. If you ain't thick skinned, because you people out there are tough. There's some tough people out there. There's people out there that's so. But we're going to try to answer your questions, and hopefully we do. If we don't, if you'll put them in the comments of this video, we can follow up with ones that we've answered or answer new ones down the road if it's something worthwhile and we think you're not the only one that's asking it. And some of these, the people that asked them wasn't the only ones. That's why we wrote them down, because it's probably more than one person. There's a couple of them that maybe just one person mentioned it, but I wanted to cover it. There's one particular question in here that Sheila didn't want me to, and she don't like me talking about, but I'm going to briefly.
Okay.
And you don't even know what it is probably yet, do you? Yeah, you'll know it when you hear it. Well, it's a Bible about not doing nothing the left hand.
Okay, gotcha.
Let the left hand know what the right one's doing or something.
That's
and
okay.
And I'm not doing it as a brag. It's because we've got that question before or comment, and you'll hear it when it comes to it. So what we're going to do, guys, we're just going to have a question and answer session. We're going to go slow. If you're in a hurry to do something, you probably don't want to, or because we're not going to get in no hurry. If we get in a hurry, I'll pass
Haste
the question
makes
up.
waste.
Yeah. Some said the clothes was a scent bag for the dogs. On that video, where Sheila and I found the clothes, we got several comments, and people commented and said that was probably a scent bag for the dogs. Some people said, why don't you wear gloves? You're messing up evidence. Well, guys, if that was evidence, they were 6 days late in collecting it. That should have been taken first day. So we doubt that it was evidence. Now, it was confusing to us in the beginning.
Yeah.
Go ahead, babe.
No, I'm just listening to you, and when
it was
hear something, I'll chime in.
because we actually thought maybe at that moment, because let me fill you up. We've done some interviews with different people, and of course, we try to answer their questions. But the reason Sheila and I didn't go join this search to begin with, right from the start, we get the news. We saw the child missing. Yeah. Of course, everybody's heart drops when you see that.
Yes.
And everybody always looks at the parents, rightfully so. How often anymore does this happen where the parents are the guilty parties? Now, Sheila and I, we've gone on parties before where the parents never been charged, child never been found, nobody.
Right.
We're going to discuss, we won't mention no names, but we'll discuss it. I guess they got away with murder, if that's what happened. They don't have to answer to us or the law of the land, but they'll answer someday.
Someday.
And it may be worse. Well, there's no doubt it will be worse. But Sheila and I didn't go on that search. We didn't go to Jackson. We thought about it. And then more we talked about it, more we'd watch the news. We said, this is parents, ever who's involved there. We're not going to find that child. That child is somewhere concealed. We said that to each other.
Yeah.
And 6 days later, well, we had the grandbabies over here over the weekend.
Yeah.
They were here and we was watching the news, just switching it because they watch videos, of course. But we wanted to keep up and see what was going on, and our
Mhm.
little grandson. We got one grandson and two granddaughters, and the grandson said, "Paul, Ma, won't you all go find that little boy?" And we didn't want to tell him. We didn't think we could find him. It's going to take the police to find him because somebody's done something to him and with him.
That many days.
Yeah.
There's not going to be good outcome.
And that was Friday or Saturday. And then we went, whatever day we went. Was it Monday?
We went Monday, yeah.
We the video speaks for itself. You know, I'll touch on this one thing. The video speaks for itself. If you watch the first video, actually the first video, you'll have to go to our channel and click on live, because the first video we made was a live video.
Stream.
Yeah.
And then we lost signal. So that was it.
Yeah.
It was just, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes long, something like that.
What did we do? What was we talking about?
We were talking about Jaden, going and seeing him and talking about what questions that we were running through our mind that we were going to ask if we had the chance to talk to his parents or to his mom and stepdad.
Yeah. That was our plan.
Mm-hmm.
We reviewed a bunch of questions that we had in our mind that we wanted to ask in case we should get a chance to talk to them.
Yeah.
Now, like Sheila and I both said in that video, we try to go on faith. Guys, don't brag on me, brag on Sheila. Sheila's what you see is what you get. Sheila's true blue, good Christian lady.
Thank you, sweetheart.
I'm not so good.
I try, but everybody stumbles and falls.
Yeah, I stumble, but but we try to just, when we go on something like this, it's weird because we don't try to. We're not brain surgeons. We just go there, and wherever something leads us to go, or we think, how'd that get there? And that's how we go, because we think God must put that there for us. He must have.
There's a reason, a purpose for it.
Yeah. And we had talked all the way up there. We were going to go in behind the trailer and on both sides of the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
That was our plan. We figured if he come out of there, that little fella, and took off, we figured if he come out of there and took off, he might have been scared. He might have been frightened.
Yeah.
If you've done any research on people's criminal history, you know you're dealing with habitual
offenders.
Thank you. This was not their first rodeo involving the police. And we thought, well, maybe he come out there and head straight up that holler or straight up that hill. Guys, I'm sorry to moving around. I don't know if you can see this or not, but my legs, in fact, I'm sitting here in boxers.
Too much info.
I've got a shirt on, but I've got alcohol and calamine.
He's covered. He's worse than me.
Just like we did on the Joseph Couch case. I sympathy on all the other searchers out there. We were only there for one day in those woods. I can imagine those searchers and rescue workers and fire department people and police officers that were out there for days on end, because we did that before too. But I'm almost eat up as bad
as before
in one day as we were in 7 days.
Yeah, you look, you got chicken pox.
I got in one of those. Well, you did too.
Yeah,
we both got in those turkey mites.
Most around my feet, it's really bad.
Never knew what turkey mites were.
Arms.
Well, we know what they are now.
See there.
So when we got there, we turned around. We planned on going behind the trailer, and when we saw the bag of clothes, we thought, "Shucks, maybe we've been wrong. Yeah. Maybe this little fella was going to run off."
Yeah,
because it had all kinds of clothes in there. Now, but that bag of clothing made me and Sheila rethink what we were thinking.
Yeah,
because now we're thinking maybe he was going to run off. And instead of going behind the trailer, he's went up this hill.
Yeah.
You could see a little path there. I don't want to cover the same videos that we've covered, but we followed those tracks. Now, we got up there to that flat, way up on the hill, and them footprints disappeared. They disappeared. They vanished. Stopped. Didn't they, Sheila?
Yep, they just stopped. I mean, if you looked in either direction, there was no proof of it.
We looked around. We looked behind trees. We looked, see if we could find a body or anything.
Right.
We come back down. We didn't really even discuss it a lot. We didn't complain because we followed a path to nowhere. We didn't. Guys, that's to us. That may have been God leading us to see if we would follow those prints, or He may have been consuming time for us, because had we went somewhere else, we might not have never seen Felicia and Joshua.
If we went farther on up the hill, maybe not, because if we were still looking, then, we
If
wouldn't have
we-
stopped to come back
If
down.
we hadn't have turned around when we did, when the footprints quit, I mean, if. Now, ifs, you can say if, or you can say faith, or you can say God did this. Because when we come back down there, we sat at the bottom of the hill, up on the hill, but we were behind concealment. We were concealed. We had tree limbs. Look at those videos where those limbs are down in front of us. We didn't have camouflage on, but neither one of us had bright clothing. He saw us from that back porch when they got out. Just a few minutes after we sat down there going to rest and watch the trailer to see if anybody was in the trailer, we didn't know they had another vehicle. We didn't know they had a truck.
Right.
That would haul a tote
Tote
and a child.
and shovels.
We didn't know that. Yeah, we've heard some other things now, and I'm sure the state police get all that if they haven't got it already. But so when we come off that hill, we're sitting there and that truck pulls in and parks behind the house. They come out to the back door and they see us, or at least they're pointing towards the hill, and I holler. We was up on that hill just long enough for them to come home and us to make contact with Josh and Felicia.
Yep.
So anyway, this question here was, some said the clothes was a scent bag for the dogs. Why would dogs not have their own scent article? I'm not a canine officer, but why would you want all these dogs coming over there, smelling, sniffing, putting their scent all over the bag and the clothing, rather than just take one piece of clothing? Now, later on, Sheila found a yellow dollar store bag with a shirt in it, a little small shirt. We figure that's a scent bag.
A Nike shirt, I think.
We figure a canine officer was carrying that with him as a scent for his dog. That would make more sense with that plastic bag, to let that dog smell it, close it up, tighten it, hold that scent in there. But it didn't make no sense to have an entire bag like that. Why would some of Jaden's clothes be sealed in bags? How would that be a scent bag? If you notice what we held up, some of them was in baggies, sealed baggies.
There were like 2 coats, one small, one larger one, a pair of like little brown boots, and
to the person that
Crocs
said they were packed, there was nothing packed there. It was all thrown in there.
Yeah, no, it was just laying on like a.
Yeah. Somebody had wrote and said a 10-year-old wouldn't pack his clothes and he wouldn't take all that. Well, I think they might try to take all of it, drag it to the road, but they wasn't folded. But cadaver dogs, why didn't they alert inside the house? Now, we're going to get to Felicia later, how they've charged her with second-degree manslaughter. Now, she lied for 7 days. The child's run off. The child's been abducted to pray for them, do the right thing, all these different things. She's not told the truth since he come up missing. But yet, they believe her that she gave a child too much sleeping medicine and he passed away. They believe that. You can't believe her. She's a liar. But they bought that story and they charged her with second manslaughter. So you charge somebody with murder till you know what happened, till the autopsy comes back. If you want to reduce it down, besides that, it gives you something to deal with. Plea bargain with an attorney. Now, there's some options here. There's some things that could have happened. Somebody said a while ago, said, you need to learn the law. And I'm thinking, well, if I didn't learn it in 40 years, I'm not going to learn it now. But we'll discuss that in a minute when it comes up. Why didn't that cadaver dog, when they took them dogs in the house, they probably had search dogs, cadaver, they've had it all.
Right.
And they turn them loose and they jump on the bed and they go through the closets and they have free reign. Or usually the way I've always seen it.
Yeah.
You know, these cadaver dogs pick up decomposition. They more decomposed. Probably the easier it is for them to do it. But when somebody dies, they Sometimes they slobber at the mouth. Sometimes they urinate, defecate. If there's an orifice that's open in the body, sometimes they have leakage and seepage, and gives these dogs and things something to go for. Why didn't that dog or those dogs alert inside that house? She says that he died inside the house. Medical problem. How about? I feel you. I got you. Sheila came up with a sad, but amazing theory I hadn't thought of. But Sheila was talking and said, what if that child was just so heavily medicated on that medicine that the mother thought he was dead?
Yeah.
What if he was probably one iota away from death? He's so out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then she went up there, her and her accomplice. They've dug a hole.
Yeah.
Put them in a tote, put the tote in the ground and covered the tote up. What if that child medicine wore off and that child woke up later on? I know it's a bad thought.
It's horrifying.
I know it's horrifying.
It's horrifying.
We're talking, we're speculating. We're saying what could have happened. If a dog didn't alert for those officers at that house, I'm sure, I don't know, I wasn't there.
Right.
But I'm sure that they have taken dogs to told us they took dogs to
several times, he said.
Josh said they took dogs through the house.
Through the house and around the property.
I think the trooper, the spokesman's always saying they use sonar, they use helicopters, they use dogs, So why didn't that dog alert if that little boy died in that house? What if that little boy woke up and he's under the ground with not bigger than a minute, for how much dirt was on top of him, how disoriented he is?
Exactly.
That's up to the medical examiner. He's going to have to see if there's any dust particles, any dirt, anything in his lungs, because if there's anything like that in his lungs, that means he was inhaling and suffocated inside that tote. Wear gloves while you're touching evidence. Guys, there were some people commented on the bag of clothing. Why didn't you have gloves on? You could be contaminating evidence. Guys, if that laid there for 6 days and they haven't collected it by now, that ain't much evidence, or not enough. But what about tape? What about police line tape? Do not cross, do not, and just circle and close. If you want to leave it like that and you didn't want to draw attention, put police line around it. But more importantly, if it's that important or it's something like that, why not leave a trooper on the scene? It's still a possible crime scene up there. Would it have been that bad to left a trooper on the scene till we got to the bottom of this?
But how long has it been there out in the weather? Even though it was covered up, how good of a, I don't know, maybe this is just me. Yeah. How good of a scent could you get from the rain?
Well, you would think that you would get more in the way that heat was hitting it that day, the way the sun and as hot as it was, because we almost went down. So I think you're going to get more of a plastic smell. Seems to me like you would get more of a plastic smell than you would I'm no dog person, so let's just go on.
Yes,
Sheila and I wasn't looking for evidence.
Right.
We wasn't trying to convict somebody of a crime, charge somebody, arrest somebody. That wasn't our concern. Our concern while we're there is to try to locate
Jaden
and find a missing child. So to your question about the evidence, that wasn't our concern. Guys, while we were up on that hill in that first video, we gave a scenario. We were talking about another case. We were in Tennessee looking for Sebastian.
Yes.
And we went out of the subdivision there, and we come up on a cemetery, and we was checking around this cemetery, and we come up on 2 freshly dug graves. We did a video on it. It's in Sheila's library, YouTube library. And we were talking, Sheila and I were, about what a place for somebody to bury, to get rid of a body. You go to a cemetery where there's a freshly dug grave, you dig down, put the body there, and you recover it. Nobody pays no never mind because it's freshly dug grave anyway.
Exactly.
I don't know if somebody out there, we told that story while we were on that hill looking for Jaden. And I don't know if somebody put this together with this where they found the body.
Yeah.
And then the rumor got started that they found the body at the grandmother's grave or not. But
yeah,
the place we went to, there's a cemetery there. It's called Little Cemetery, the Little family. Only about 4 or 5 graves on it.
I think 4.
We also went down the hall where Felicia told Sheila, that the grandmother was buried. They've got no trespassing signs down there, so we didn't go up to the cemetery where Shirley's buried.
Yeah.
But that was probably the story. Somebody may have heard that story and put that with. We said we were in Tennessee and there was a graveyard and we were searching for a little boy. Someone said that carry candy with you, Fred, when my blood sugar got low. I got Parkinson's, or I've had that ever since I had back surgery. My hand has shaken. It could be age. Who knows? But when I didn't eat that morning, I'm not a diabetic, but we did get hot.
Ooh, it was like 80, over 85.
And we were moving rapidly. We were moving fast. We were getting our gear on. We were trying to climb fast.
That hill or mountain was steep. We
did have candy in our bag that we took on to Sebastian or couch or anywhere we go. We carry, and it wasn't 3 weeks ago, we got that bus out back and we took our backpacks and put in the bus. And when I was going through them, the candy had all melted and I took it all out.
Yeah.
Didn't put none back in. I will.
Oops.
Good advice.
Thank you.
Josh said Jaden couldn't go to school because he tried to stab a child with a pencil. That's what was on that video that we didn't go over the other day, but we did another video where we were talking between Sheila and I about who we thought and what we thought had happened. And this was not on YouTube channel. It was just on our drive. And we talked about how we thought Felicia and Josh, now Josh is innocent till proven guilty or charged or whatever. Felicia's been charged and arrested, but now
I don't think he has.
But now Josh told us that he was there the night that to the early morning hours when Jaden come up missing. So he told us that's on tape.
Yeah.
We asked him.
Yep. You asked.
Was there anybody else here? That was one of our questions we wanted to ask. Was there anybody else here when you and Felicia was here that night and he come up missing that morning? Was there anybody else that can confirm that Jaden was in that trailer that night? They said yes. Both of them said yes. And like Sheila says,
she shook her head, say yes.
Felicia kept shaking her head. And that was the children. There was other children there. No adults. But he was telling us this story that Sheila or one of us asked, is Jaden in school? Because we noticed school buses at the school when we drove by. And we thought, well, if he's run away, maybe he's been bullied at school. We asked. They said, no, he don't go to school. And Josh couldn't answer fast enough that he had tried to stab another little boy with a pencil. Now, whether that's true or not, who knows? But we left it. The text wasn't on there, but if you listen to that tape, you'll hear him say that. And we left that so in case there was a teacher, a principal, or somebody else out there that heard that, they could say, that's a lie. That's not true. Or they could say, yeah, I remember.
They can confirm or deny.
Yeah.
That
what if he was what if that's not true and he just made that up? And somebody, a teacher or somebody heard that and they say, that's not. Because, see, we, like a lot of other people, felt school was just starting back.
Yeah.
He could have been gone for a week, a month, 2 weeks. Maybe when school starting back, they knew they had to account for this child.
Yeah.
And once again, we use alleged, we use our opinion, we use speculation, we use innocent till proven guilty, and we'll have a disclaimer on here. But again, he's got the truck, he's driving, he was solely in charge. You can tell that who was in charge of that relationship.
Yeah.
Our question was?
He did most of the talking, and she would say yes every now and then, but she mostly nodded her head.
Our question would have been, he cut it off. We was asking rapid questions. We were trying to get as much in as we could, as fast as we could. And we were telling him about finding Joseph Couch and letting him know and we told him to go in there and watch the video, our YouTube channel, because on the way up there, we had done a YouTube video on the death penalty.
Right.
So why didn't you drive the bus? Somebody asked, we've been fixing up a travel bus, Sheila and I have, to make trips in where we can sleep and pull over and rest.
Comfortable.
When our backs hurt and Sheila's got a bad leg and different things. And it's got a valve cover gasket leaking on it, so we got to get that fixed. So that's why we didn't have our bus with us. Or we would have stayed up there that night.
Yeah.
Had they had internet, because Sheila wanted to download that first video.
Mm-hmm.
So we came on home and downloaded the first video and was getting ready to go back that evening and started getting calls and texts that something was going on. So, the day that we got through, this is not tooting our own horn, but the day we got through, we went and ate and come back, and they saw us pull back in. We actually was going to try to talk to them some more. Mm-hmm. And when we pulled in and got out to go search behind their house, they got in their vehicle and left. And when they went out the driveway, they said, search all you want, and spoke. I've got the camera down there and the camera's wagging. I had the camera on. So in case we talked, you could hear, but that video she made a while ago, it's all over the place, but that's why.
Sorry.
Until they leave, and then I show their vehicle. But I told Sheila then, I said, they're going to turn themselves in. It was a joke, but at the same time, they had gotten so we could see the body language.
Yeah, I mean, it was just
we could see the nervousness.
Yeah.
Now you get nervous. Somebody's questioning you about things. Of course, you're going to get nervous. But there's an old saying: if you don't tell a lie, you don't have to worry about messing up.
Yeah.
Tell the truth, and you don't have to worry about what did I say the last time? What did I say last week? Someone said this is an old one. This is the one Sheila is probably not going to agree with.
Okay.
But every time we do a Sebastian or somebody, we do anything at all, there's always one or two, and they bring it up, rightly so. We don't care. Like I said, you got to be thick-skinned, but I'm going to throw it out there. I want to tell you something.
Okay.
And every time I get ready to tell it or mention it, Sheila says, don't do that, don't do that. And I wrote it on here, and now someone said,
oh no, he didn't.
did you get your reward money from the couch case? Why didn't you donate that to charity? Well, we picked up the first check from Mayor Weddle in London for $10,000.
Yeah.
And we went straight and met with Joseph Couch's mother, Loretta, and stepfather, and gave her $5,000 to pay for Joseph's funeral.
She hugged.
I don't know if that counts for anything. Oh yeah, sweet lady.
She was very
sad lady. Have since
so sorry for
met
her.
and talked to Matthew, his brother, and sweet family. Rough time, but
we called the funeral home and asked them was just going to do it.
We wanted to pay off on the funeral home, and when we got our check that day, and they wouldn't tell us to pay off. We were going to pay the funeral off and whatever it was when we got our check. And when we got it, we had texted Matt. Matt told his mother, and she contacted us, and we
Yeah.
told her we had her a little gift,
Yeah.
help with the funeral, and told her had her $5,000, and she said that's what the funeral cost. Thank you so much, and she was very appreciative. So the rest of it, we had put $10,000 in mechanical repairs on our vehicle, and we owed Social Security money, and so everybody needs money. Nobody's. So we did do that. I'll drop it right there. She's kneeing me, but other cases, guys. I'm not going to mention no names, but Sheila and I have been on other cases where children's come up missing.
Yeah.
And they're still not recovered. They're still out there. And all we can say there is, without a body, it's hard to prove a homicide without a witness.
Exactly.
And so if those people are guilty, then I would hate to be in their shoes one day, because they're going to stand and be accountable. And it may be a whole lot worse accountability than what Felicia is going to be going through now with a little bit of time in prison. I would hate to go meet the maker and know that I had done something as bad as doing that to a child.
Yeah.
Not accusing nobody, not naming nobody, but
Right.
if the shoe fits, wear it. But there's cases out there that's not solved that this happened with. And there's other people that will probably do it to a loved one before the week's out. It's sad. Sad.
The world's gone crazy.
Well, they took the Bible out of school and they put you probably delete that.
Yeah, I will.
Why did social services return him to an abusive mother? Good question, guys. Somebody asked this in the comments.
We have no idea.
We don't know. We don't know.
They
Social
dropped the ball.
services. Yeah. Social services returned him to his mother. And like Sheila says, somebody's dropped the ball. They sent that boy.
They
sentenced him. Good job. They sentenced him to death.
Death. Yeah, they did.
When they returned him to his mother, they gave him the death sentence.
Oh.
He didn't know it. They didn't know it. They should have known it. You've been accused or charged. I heard today where she spent a year in jail on one of the charges for endangering the welfare of a minor. Was it him? Don't know.
Yeah, we've heard two different things.
Once would be bad enough.
Yeah.
But she's done it twice, and you take a child and return it to.
And there was a child there is what I don't get.
They had a child with them.
Mm-hmm.
Put these children up for adoption. Put these children in homes. There's people out there. Look at our page. All these people. I'll take a child. I would take it and raise it. I would have done this. I would love to have it. Sad. Sad.
I agree.
Why just manslaughter? Guys, I'm not getting down on prosecutors, attorneys. I'm not getting down. People have simple questions. People ask, and we make videos on them. When somebody asks something and we think, well, that would probably make a good video. Newspaper guy asked today, said, Fred, what do y'all have the YouTube channel for? Bored. We're retired and bored. It gives us something to do.
Yeah.
We travel. We do different things that we can do. Both of us are pretty good, are decent investigators. Me through police, and Sheila was she went back to substitute teaching this last year. She retired, but she's gone back subbing now. But we researched the Hatfield McCoy feud history and tried to correct that through the years and solved a lot of things. But we're bored. Why believe her now when she says that she gave him meds and you only charge her with manslaughter? He's dead. She's responsible. Charged with murder.
Got it out.
Let the grand jury hear the case. Let the medical examiner's record be introduced. Let's see. Let's see how he died. Let's see how he died. You intentionally give a child your medicine or medicine that's not his or more quantity than is allowed, even if it is his prescription.
Yep.
Because you want to get him off your back. Or wow. I hope jailers, prison guards, I hope nobody mistreats her, because you can't do that. But I hope nobody goes the extra inch, centimeter. I hope if she wants an extra slice of cheese, she doesn't get it. Extra slice of bread or toast. I hope they do her because, see, they're in charge of her now. They watch over her. They're her caretakers.
They're responsible for her, like she
They
was.
take care of her like she was responsible for him. Now she's got to rely on somebody to bring her an extra blanket when she's cold, turn the air on when she's hot. She's dependent upon somebody else, like that little 10-year-old innocent fellow was dependent on his mother. What if he died and suffocated in the tote?
Lord, I hope not.
Deep sleep, wakes up, scratches fingernail. Can you imagine the medical examiner will be able to tell, is his fingernails pulled off? Is this rubbed down to the raw? Him trying to dig out there? We hope not.
Yeah.
We hope not. We hope that's. But for that dog didn't hit, it makes a person wonder. Josh and Felicia offered to search anywhere around the property that we wanted to. If you remember, I hollered and asked him, I said, we're looking for Jaden.
Mm-hmm.
Glad you are, he said. Sure he was. Sure he's glad we are. 20 miles away from where he's at. See, he didn't have the same attitude. He didn't have the same personality when we met at the driveway. And Sheila mentioned about, where's the grandmother buried?
Because when he was talking about the clothes that he said that the state police had dropped off and stuff, it came from that trailer down there. And when he pointed, I was like, down there next door? And he's like, no. And they both said, of course, canoe. And he said, you asked how far away it was, and I think he said about 20 miles.
We said we passed Canoe on the way in.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, was he grieving hard over his grandmother? He said, oh yeah, he's grieving hard. Yeah. And I said, or one of us said, I think Sheila did, would he have gone to the cemetery or to the house? And he said, no, that'd been too far for him to go. Somebody would have had to take him. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't long after that interview ended. And you could even see, like I said, you'd had to be in there. I wish we would have had, I usually wear sunglasses with a camera in the middle of them. I wish I'd had them on.
Yeah.
Because they were out in public. We could have filmed them where they wanted to be filmed or not. Search anywhere around the property. They were eager for us. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you go search. Go anywhere you want. Mm-hmm. We did. We just been nosy because after they left, we told each other, he's not here.
No.
He's not here. But we also told each other, we're going to Canoe either this evening or tomorrow, and we're going to go to the grandmother's house, and we're going to go to her graveyard, cemetery. No, he wasn't at either place, but we would have been in the area. We would have been in Canoe. And we talked to some other people over there yesterday. It's funny how people was recognizing us because, and we met some nice people. Hey, Sheila, what's that boy's name? Where's that picture at? You want to just put it on the back?
I'll add it on the back. We made us a friend while we were there.
Sean
Cockerham.
Oh, he's a sweet fella.
Said that right?
Real sweet fella. Took us and showed us again where we'd been there already, but he didn't know exactly where the spot was, but he knew the general area where all the state police cars were and such. So that's where he took us back there. But
yeah, when we walked in that store, we were there getting ready to check out. And he walked in and said, Fred McCoy.
Yeah, he said he seen us going down the road. He was weed eating and saw us going down the road. He said, I recognize that hat.
Yeah.
So I told my buddy, that's for clue. No need to search. But we were nosy. The clue was that they were so eager for us. Go search all you want.
Yeah.
No, that's a clue not to search. There's nothing to be found there.
Yeah.
We felt Case was going to come down to the mom and stepdad, and we felt that from the beginning. I don't know if any of you guys, I'll tell you a subject that's not come up. We brought it up. We brought it up yesterday talking to some other people while we were in that area. Sheila and I had asked each other about it and talked about it, and we finally run upon somebody that could fill us in. Y'all can do your own research because we're not. We was asking who the real father is. If Josh is the stepfather, who's the real father?
Yeah.
This little boy was doomed from the start. If what we gathered yesterday is true.
What we were
And if
told,
we find solid, we've got a picture, his mugshot on Sheila's phone that a lady gave us. But I don't know that there's been a DNA. His name hasn't been mentioned anywhere. It wasn't in the obituary. It wasn't.
Neither was hers either.
He's never. Yeah, that's neat. I'm glad. I'm glad it wasn't. That's no mother. She shouldn't be mentioned. But we found who is supposed to be Jaden's father, birth father. Thank you, babe. He's also in prison. Been in prison for a while for, if it's him, for a pretty egregious thing. Boy, he didn't have a chance. If you look at some of these
cards were stacked,
criminal history on these people, social services dropped the ball.
They definitely did.
All you have to do is look at criminal histories. And when you have some of these charges involving children, that's a no right there, period. No. We felt case was going to come down to the mom and the stepdad, and we did. And it did. It's come down to the mom so far. It's come down to the mom so far. And again, you're innocent proven guilty, but Josh stood right there in the driveway and told us that he was there that night. So if he was there that night, he was there when she supposedly gave him the meds, killed him. He was there when she killed him if she gave him a overdose or somebody else's medicine or whatever.
Well, they only have the one. They only have the one automobile, one truck, one thing to drive. So
dead weight. We all know what dead weight is and how hard it would be for her to dug a hole in that ground.
Yeah, that doesn't add up either.
And to put a toad in it with him in it. You know, guys, I don't know if I discussed it yet or not. We found 2 pair of gloves. They're on the video. You're going to hear me. I probably get a little bit because it was the same way Joseph Couch's scene. Is it so hard to take our gloves with us and dispose of them in a container somewhere? These gloves are toxic. These gloves, you've got somebody that's been dead for 7 days and you're handling the remains out in 100-degree weather. You can imagine. And you know, old nose here, Sheila smelled. She said, I smell something here. And that would be probably correct if something had, after 7 days.
Yeah.
We felt they knew where Jaden was. Somebody made a comment, nice to meet you. We got ready to leave there.
Yeah.
And we told Josh, and well, he started walking off. He was done with the interview, and we said thank you and nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Sheila said nice to meet you, and they said nice to meet you all. We're all lying. We're all lying. It wasn't nice to meet them, especially under those conditions.
Right.
But we're being nice. They were nice.
Right.
We had no reason to come out and say, hey, you guys are this or that, or we didn't have the evidence.
Right.
We had the body language, we had the eyes, we had the nervousness, we had to look at me when I'm holding a phone half the time and stuff. You'd think Fred's nervous. I was gonna tell a story, but I won't.
Well, if you come up to somebody and you're wanting to ask them questions,
good point, babe.
You don't want to come up and automatically start attacking them, because then you're going to put them on the defensive, and then they're not going.
No, they're not going to talk.
Anything.
Had I hollered and said, "Did you all kill your son?" They ain't going to meet me by the road. I want to talk to you. Well, we're not going to talk to you.
Yeah.
I said, hey, if you got a minute, I want to run something by you. He said, I just got a minute. I'm in a hurry.
Yeah. Yeah.
They wasn't in a hurry. They ain't got nowhere to go, but that was his excuse. And he actually stayed longer and talked to us and answered more questions.
Me. Yeah.
Well, I think we were machine gunning them. We were throwing them out there so fast.
You were.
and we were talking about the Joseph Couch case, about finding him after he shot 17 vehicles and 5 people.
Yeah.
And we told him, he said, I hadn't heard about that. And I said, yeah.
Yeah.
So somebody made the comment and said, nice to meet you. Nice to meet him or something like that. Well,
yeah, I wouldn't have said nice to meet
it wasn't.
you,
It wasn't. But what we going to do? Go down there accusing and say, did you kill your boy? You can't do that. As an investigators, you can't go in there like that. You got to go in, how you doing? Glad to meet you all. And that's what we did. And we got some information. Tell you what we got. We got the only interview, as far as we know, especially with non-law enforcement. I think the only time they met with law enforcement was when they gave the initial report. Child's missing. Then lawyered up. Lawyer said, don't talk to nobody else.
He did say that.
It may have come down to the lawyers the lawyer may have hooked up with the Commonwealth attorney, hooked up with her and said, here, we'll show you where the body is. We'll do this and that.
Yeah, because I was wondering how she come up with the medical.
I have a feeling that the state police moved on this a little bit faster than probably what they would have once I called Fred McCoy and I found a bag of clothes out here. My wife and I have been talking to the people. It's my opinion. I like to think that Sheila and I, through the good Lord.
Exactly.
Not Sheila and I just did the footwork.
Right.
But because of God's timing, and God says it's time to bring the boy home, it's time for closure, we're going to do this. He don't always bring, we didn't find the body. We didn't find it. We don't have to. As long as we had something to do with it and give the good Lord the credit, it's good enough for us.
Can't go wrong.
Little boy's at rest.
Yeah, bless him.
No one is going to talk to you if you start off accusing them of a crime.
Yeah.
Person past predicts their future. Mom knew what she was going to do. I found out in law enforcement 40 years that a person's past often predicts their future. If you're a thief in the past, you'll be a thief. If you're an abuser, you'll be an abuser. If you're a liar, you're going to be a liar. If you're a child abuser, or a predator, short of being castrated, you're not going to change. That's the first thing they should do to child abusers, sexual abusers. First thing they should do right off the bat, castrate them. Never happen again. And especially before anyone's ever paroled. Forget about these sex offenders and tracking them down. Castrate them. Won't have to track them down. Person's past often predicts their future. Social services should have known that.
Yeah. That's
Social
what's
media
so
people.
confusing is why they sent him there.
Yeah.
I mean, he has aunts and uncles and there's other
as a loving
members.
family that we've witnessed on.
But I don't understand that.
Yeah. Social media. People need to talk. This is not like the old days. Social media. You know, guys, I had some rude comments earlier talking about where I said, the only thing I said on that title of that video was, should have been a murder charge.
Yeah.
I know what the elements of these
you know how that works.
Crimes. I know what the elements consist of and all that. At this point, we don't know. We've not even had an autopsy performed.
Right.
Charge them with the highest one. Charge them with murder. You got a dead body. You've got a boy that's dead. And you've got this person here that told you she done
Confessed
it. No matter how she done it. He's dead and she's confessed. Charge her with murder until you find out differently from the medical examiner or there's a plea deal or whatever. But my point here about social media, guys, probably the best-selling magazine ever in the world back in the 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Inquirer magazine. Inquirer.
Yeah. You want to know. Inquirer.
People want to know. Inquisitive people want to know. YouTube, X, social media. People want to know. It's not just news anymore. Now you got fake news. The real news is coming from YouTubers. It really is. And these people that try to hide or you'll hear it on this next video because I'm pretty rough on this where we're trying to find the gravesite. We wanted to put flowers on it.
Yeah.
We got some flowers and we were going to put where he was at, just as a good gesture. But I wish people would realize that social media is out there now and it's a thing. And when you're standing in front of these microphones, if you've made a deal, there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, we recovered the body. That's the most important thing to us.
Yeah.
And the aunts and the family. Okay. We can understand that. But you can't say we got a new tip in. We solved this case with a new tip. If you solved it with a tip, then she should have been charged with murder.
I agree.
She should have been charged with murder until the grand jury decides the appropriate charge or a jury. But if there was a deal made, a plea agreement, give us the body and we're going to give you 10 years in prison.
About the meanness in the world. And, we earlier reported you got a tip that led you to this location. Who led you to the body?
So information that we received came from Mom herself.
Lawyers talked to her, she's accepted it. Then that would be a plea agreement. That's not we've got a new tip. That's not tip. That's a plea agreement. That's just my opinion. Guys, if you new subscribers, I'm sorry. If you're not used to us, you'll get used to us. A lot of times I put my foot in my mouth. A lot of times I say things probably shouldn't say. But I try to be upfront. Wouldn't you rather be with somebody that's upfront with you than somebody telling you what you want to hear and stabbing you in the back? Or
what you see is what you get.
Babe, you're up. You got 30 seconds to say whatever you want to say.
No, I'm kidding. Guys, we hope you all are doing well. We are saddened about the outcome of this case.
Sure.
And we're praying for the family members that's having to go through this. Praying that Jaden didn't suffer.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it, but
okay.
Anyway.
It's okay. You're done. Just close it out. You made me.
3 days later.
Hey guys, we ended that video, and then we put it away because it was sad, the last part.
Yeah.
And brought it back out today to edit it and tuck some stuff out. And this part here, this is just touch up. Other questions that people's asked today, or something that we're adding to some of the other questions. We know this is a long video. Most people don't sit through this longer video. This is just for those inquisitive minds that wants to know mine and Sheila's thoughts. And somebody said on video today, why did I think the gloves were placed there as a diversion at the shallow grave? I don't know. I don't know that they were. There's 2 sets of gloves. Sheila posted a picture at the end of that video where the X's are. There's 1 pair of gloves up towards the cemetery. We searched up there for a long time because a lady had told us it was there at the cemetery, and somebody else told us that it was right outside the fence there at the cemetery.
Right.
And it wasn't, of course. The other pair of gloves, we had saw them when we first got there. We walked down through there, but where the lady told us it was at the cemetery, we went, and the other guy had said at the fence, we went on up to the cemetery. So we thought the pair of gloves at the bottom was the diversion ones, and the ones at the graveyard was real. So we don't know that either pair was a diversion. They definitely threw us off because we searched up top of the graveyard because we found gloves, and then we searched at the bottom, and we think that's the grave that we found there. If it's not, I'm sure somebody that was there will correct us on YouTube on our
let us know.
Comments. Yeah, we want to be right. Sheila and I have always said that on all of our videos, ain't we, babe?
Right.
So why not go ahead? We saw Trooper Gayhart on Nancy Grace. I think that's one of our questions. In fact, I'll just go ahead and we saw Trooper Gayhart on Nancy Grace, and he says the Nancy Grace that the mother was the tip. Said they received a tip, and she said, okay, I'm going to ask you who was the tip, and he said it was the mother. Well, that's the suspect. That didn't come in as a tip. That's the suspect. That's now the murderer. You know, Sheila and I'm back through this video before we heard this. This video's been made for a couple of days, but if you'll go back, you'll hear me talking about, was there a plea deal made? Was there a tip that came into the state police, or was there a plea agreement? Mm-hmm. Now, we felt when the mother and stepfather left that day up there that they were, I said it as a joke, but we talked about it and felt from the way they acted that something was going on. They were going to see their lawyer. They got nervous. I don't know that that's even what happened, but I have a feeling that she went back to the lawyer, and Sheila was asking a while ago, me and her was talking and said, where did this medical emergency come from? What kind of wording is that?
How did she know, to me, how did she know to say it was a medical emergency? Because I would have just said, if it was truly an accident, I would have said he was throwing up, he was convulsing or something, but not
That's attorney. That's an attorney, I would think. In my opinion, we think the attorney's probably told her, let's say this. We can get your time knocked down to this. You can get paroled within so-and-so time, shock probation. You can get, and he starts throwing out all the options because at that time, they didn't have nothing. They didn't have a body. They didn't have, all they had was her story.
Yeah.
And so it looks like that they've made a deal with the mother in exchange for the body and so forth. So that may explain why there was no crime scene tape. There was no crime scene at the shallow grave. But that tip was not a tip. That tip was a confession from the mother. The mother went and confessed and agreed to take them to the location of the body. And when there's no witnesses, then you have to make a deal. When there's only two people involved, the murderer and the murderee, and the murderee is buried, and the murderer is not talking, and you've got nothing to go on. No witnesses, no body, and there's nothing wrong with making a plea to provide comfort to that family, to provide a decent burial to the victim, and we have no problem with that. What we questioned was where the Commonwealth Attorney was there along with the state police, and one of them says there was a tip came in, and the other one, didn't correct it. So if there was a plea agreement, that's not really a tip. That's a plea agreement. She's agreed for a reduced sentence, a reduced charge. May very well, I'm talking hypothetically, don't know a thing, but that may explain why the charge was manslaughter second instead of murder one. Not in the woods, just video time, but ours. A lot of times people, guys, you're going to see pictures at the end of this video of what Sheila and I look like.
Oh.
Probably me more than Sheila. Sheila's more, what's that?
Conservative?
Yeah, conservative. I'll show you some pictures of me, and believe me, Sheila looks just like I do or worse.
Oh, my Lanta.
We both went to the doctor today, and we both got prescriptions today for medicine.
Yeah.
And we're eat up with poison ivy and deer ticks. We're worse than we were.
Mites.
Turkey mites.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're worse than we were when we had the Joseph Couch case, and we were out there for 7 days. So when you see these videos, you may only see a 20-minute video, 30-minute video, an hour, but we may have been in those woods for 3 or 4 hours.
Right.
We may have, batteries went, so sometimes we just save enough battery power just to close the video out. Follow questions. Okay, guys, I don't see anything else.
Yeah.
Sheila and I were talking a while ago, and at the end of the other video, when we thought it was going to end, and Sheila got sad, which got me sad too. Neither one of us could talk, and we know that Jaden's in a better place.
Sure.
Sheila quoted a verse a while ago out of the Bible about taking care of God's children and the orphans and the widows and all this
Not
and
to
that.
mistreat them.
Not to mistreat children, and that's his.
They're a gift from him.
Yeah, they are, and I'm sure everybody out there's sad. All of us are sad for Jaden, but Jaden's in heaven now and not suffering anymore. I said the other day that, especially as a police officer, I've seen things that sometimes death is not so bad as what some people goes through, especially children. So death for Jaden, as sad as it is, may be better than the life that he was living or had.
Okay.
We appreciate everybody that has gave us a thumbs up or any type of credit, and it's just heartwarming. And it's heartwarming. Again, Sheila's a whole lot better person than I am, and I stumble all the time, and I say things and stuff, and it's just a hard Christian
we're all
life.
Human.
Christian life is a hard life to try to live right, and I fail all the time. But I see you guys, and I'll hear you, and that gives me encouragement to that helps me. So
thank you all.
We love you all, and thanks for joining our channel and coming along with us. This is probably going to be the last video until court or Jaden's funeral or something like that, maybe. Yeah. So. Hey guys, in closing this video out, we did want to say that the next court date is August the 18th, which is Monday coming up. Mm-hmm. And it's for a preliminary hearing. A preliminary hearing in Kentucky is where you're charged with a crime and you go before the judge, and the judge rules whether there's enough probable cause for the case to be sent to the grand jury. Now, you can go to the grand jury, or you can waive the grand jury hearing and just go ahead and be indicted by information from the Commonwealth Attorney. And that's what I look for. Again, I could be wrong, but I think there's some kind of an arrangement already been made, because we have Jaden's body back now, which is good.
And she confessed to his demise.
Yeah.
So.
Well, she even said she gave him a overdose. I'm still thinking that we can't wait for the medical examiner's report to come back and tell us all. He may have died of suffocation. He may have died from a beating. He could have died from anything in the world. See, we don't put a lot of stock in anything that she says. She's a known liar. She's a known child abuser. She's a known bad person. So you can't put any stock at all in what she said. I'm hoping that if the prosecutor did make a plea agreement with her and her lawyer, that there was a stipulation in there that said that we will give you so much time and let you be eligible for probation or parole after so much time and so forth, on the condition that what you tell us is the truth and nothing but the complete truth. And if you've altered in any way or lied to us, that voids the plea bargain out, and then we're going to prosecute you to the fullest. I hope they've put that in there, because if they have, because I have a feeling when they do the autopsy that they're going to find bruises or other marks or something that may be able to void out that plea agreement, if there is one, and they can charge her with everything that they can.
Okay.
That's all we got, babe. You got anything?
No.
We ain't gonna do that again, are we? We done ended this video once 3 days ago, and now
tried it.
Yeah, so we're glad Jaden's in heaven with his grandma and others, and
we're praying for everybody involved, the rest of his family.
Praying for the aunts and all the rest of the family that are good people.
Right.
Thank you guys, and catch you on the next one.
Oh